Science said no. Approval said yes.
What if the medicine you're taking
Doesn't actually work? Not kind of works.
not works for some people? I mean,
It failed its clinical trial.
now here's the shock.
That drug might still be fully approved by the FDA.
This isn't a mistake.
It's not a loophole, it's a choice. Right now, the FDA is walking a thin line between hard science and human hope. And that line is getting dangerous. Biogen's ALS drug, Qalsody, Sarepta's Duchenne drugs Vyondys 53 and Amondys 45, and the breast cancer drug Margenza. Different diseases, different companies. One thing in common: they all failed key clinical trials. Trials meant to prove the drug actually helps patients. Yet these drugs stayed on the market. Some are still being used today. So how is this possible? Between 2018 and 2021, the FDA approved 210 new drugs. About 1 in 10 failed at least one main effectiveness test and still got approved. According to Yale professor Joe Ross, this isn't rare. The FDA has built-in flexibility on purpose, and that flexibility often comes down to one word: biomarkers. Not how a patient feels, not whether they live long, but lab numbers, protein levels, molecular changes. If a drug moves a biomarker in the right direction, that can be enough. The most controversial case? Alzheimer's drug, Aduhelm. The trials failed. The benefits were unclear, but the FDA approved it anyway. Why? Because it removed amyloid plaques from the brain. Did patients think better, function better, live longer? That was uncertain. The backlash was so intense. 3 FDA advisors resigned. Inside the FDA, there's another way of thinking. Former FDA Oncology Director Harpreet Singh says, a failed trial is not the same as a failed drug. Trials can fail for many reasons. Wrong endpoints, mixed patient populations, too little time, especially for drugs like immunotherapy, where real benefits show up late. But the question still hangs in the air. How long should we allow drugs on the market without clear proof they help patients? The FDA must protect people, but it also faces patients with no other options. There is no easy answer. But one thing is clear: the hardest part of science isn't discovering the truth. It's deciding when the evidence is enough.